What's up, guys? It is me, boy Kwis, and we are back again with a new video. And in case you're new here, you don't know who I am. I'm Kwis. I'm a professional Tekken player for Ninjas in Pyjamas, and I'm a Hwarang main. But also, in my heyday, in my youth, I was also a Lydia. I'd say Lydia sub main. I think I kind of main the character almost as much as it is Hwarang when she first came out. I was a big fan of the character. She's the only other character I've won a tournament with. So again, big fan of the character. Love the character. Want the character to come as soon as possible. But I've been very confused with how they've handled the release of the character. Because in case you guys are unaware, she was announced at Evo Japan, I'm pretty sure, which was like April ? I think that's when she was announced with her teaser trailer, with the season 1 trailer. No, yeah, I just double checked it. April was when Lydia was announced. We got her gameplay trailer at Combo Breaker, I'm pretty sure, which was what, May last month. Combo Breaker is normally in May. Or in July now, I guess. And yeah, I feel like we've never got a release date. We've been waiting for a long time. So I've been not a fan of how they've handled their release, but very little information. But this week they announced they're going to be doing the Tekken talk for Lydia. I'm not going to be able to react to it because this week can have a tournament going to the mix-up in Lyon, Tekken Tour Master event and Esports World Cup qualifier event. So I'll be there this weekend. I'm flying out tomorrow during the time of the Tekken talk, and I'm kind of worried now, because normally when they do a Tekken talk, the character comes not too soon afterwards. And you think I'd be happy, you know, Lydia's coming out soon. But yeah, the timing's a bit odd. Again, we have a master event this weekend, somewhere you could do the release date. But they've decided to do a Tekken talk the day before the master event, which is weird. And then also, if she does release, normally characters release on Monday, or I think Monday for like early access, Tuesday or Wednesday or something is when the character fully comes out. But it's Evo next weekend. Is she going to release next week, the week of Evo? I'm very confused at how they're handling this character. If she does release before Evo, she cannot be tournament legal. I think it's not fair. As much as, again, I'm excited to play the character, I will play the character. She will be a secondary character for me. But I just feel like it's not fair to have a character release before the biggest tournament Tekken's ever seen. Almost 5,000 entrants. Yeah, I don't think that should be allowed if she does release, which all signs are pointing towards, because we also have this video here from IGN that literally just dropped. Again, I switched to the wrong scene. I need to stop doing this. Again, this video that dropped from IGN, Lydia's starter guide and an early look at the character. So we're just gonna sort of react to this, I guess, see what's different Lydia, because again, a character I knew very well. I'm excited to see her changes. I'm just worried that she's gonna drop next week and then be Evo tournament legal. I don't think that's gonna be fair. Because again, characters also comes with kind of crazy. Like, I think when Eddie released, he was not in a state ready to compete with him. Then we saw Evo Japan, 2 Eddies in top 8. You know, didn't get top 6 with 2 Eddies in top 8, and I think people were just lost against the character in certain situations. So, you know, I hope we don't see the same with Lydia, but I like the outfit, by the way.
The fighting Prime Minister of Poland, Lidia Sobieska, makes her return to the King of Iron Fist tournament in Tekken 8 as the second DLC character.
Oh my god, political storm heat engage. I knew it was going to be a heat engager. I just knew it was going to be heat engager. So I'll try not to pause too much, but like, yeah, I don't think we want to focus on, I don't know if the guy's going to say too much.
Prime Minister of Poland, Lidia Sobieska, makes her return to the King of Iron Fist tournament.
Like, yeah, in Tekken 7, if Lydia did forward 2 here,
to return to the King of makes her return to the King of Iron Fist.
If she did forward 2 on block, she wouldn't go into stance. So again, they're making it more like a Reina forward 2, I guess. So it's pretty much like a demon ball now, and this is a new stance as well. So in Tekken 7, Lydia's forward 2, she had 2 cat stances, cat 1 and cat 2. This would be her cat 1 stance, I believe. It looks more like a horse stance in this game, so I guess they got rid of cat 1 and cat 2, because it's probably complicated to say as well. So it looks like she has horse stance now, from forward 2, and goes into on block, which is very interesting. In Tekken 7, it had to be on hit.
The second DLC character.
The local storm heat engage.
She's a complex character, even by Tekken standards.
Right, so engage down back 2 still exists.
Namco's esports manager Alex Julio gave me an hour-long demonstration of her best moves, what's special about her kit, and the unique threats that she poses.
1 2 2 still goes to cat stance, and that was cat 3.
On Lidia Sobieska in Tekken 8.
Whoa, wait, she did heat engage. She did heat engage right into heaven and earth stance. What was that? So that move there was her cat 2 Cat 2, but I guess we're gonna call it horse stance now. It's horse and cat stance. This was horse 2, right?
Starter guide on Lydia.
And that was a counter hit launcher in Tekken 7, but it looks like it's a heat engage.
Here's a quick starter.
I don't know if it's counter hit only. Is it only counter heat engage? That's interesting. It is. Also, she has these stocks up here, which you're building. So again, she's one of these install characters. It looks like in this game.
Quick starter guide on Lydia Sobieska in Tekken.
That's interesting. Goes right into a Heaven and Earth, and that was Heaven Earth 1+2, which was a guard break in Tekken 7. Don't know what's going to be in this game.
Iteration, Lydia is a character
so a hop kick is still the same.
In Tekken 8, she
was very similar to a Tekken 7 combo there.
Cat stance, horse stance,
yeah,
striking wolf stance, and
so yes, it is horse stance in this game.
Horse stance, striking wolf stance,
and she still had this stance. This was what do you call it? Striking horse
stance, striking wolf stance,
striking wolf. I think it was called pouncing something in Tekken 7.
And Heaven and Earth.
Yeah.
Each stance has a number of follow-ups, from lows to quick highs that beat jab mashes to punishing mids that can lead to hugely damaging combos. She's a character that can leave her opponents scared to press buttons, and when they're conditioned into that state, then she can use moves that are plus on block to keep her pressure going. She's also got very strong punishes, a fully tracking low that we'll go over in just a bit.
So she still has red tape, and red tape is homing in this game. So that's her down back 3.
She's also got very strong punishes, a full.
So she still has red tape. Down back 3 into a follow-up, but it's homing in this game. I don't think it was home. It definitely wasn't homing. Definitely in Tekken 7, but I think it had very good tracking, but like fully homing in this game.
That we'll go over in just a bit, and very strong approach tools.
Was that blue spark forward? She has blue spark forward.
She's also a character that benefits greatly from her heat gauge, which we'll go over right now as we talk about her best moves, starting with the aforementioned forward 2.
Her forward 2 is crazy.
Forward 2 is a mid punch that leaves Lydia at +5 on block and forces her into horse stance, regardless if the attack hits or is blocked.
I hope his tracking is worse in this game.
The opponent is in a real bad spot. It's +15 and leaves her in a position where she can do pretty much any follow-up in horse stance, and it will beat mashing.
If I remember correctly, so yeah, that's not counting.
So the opponent must guess on blocking a mid heat engager that's only -10 on block, a low counter hit launcher,
-10,
or take a gamble and mash to try beat an axe kick that leaves Lydia at +8 on block and transitions.
Oh, so they changed it. So horse 4. So in Tekken 7, when this move first came out, it was like it was like +7. Actually, it might have been +8 and left you close. Where you had to take a mix up between down back 3 and down forward 2. Down forward 2 was a mid poke she had that went into cat stance. But now you close, but it leaves you in, was it striking wolf stance?
And transitions into a whole new stance with another set of mix-ups. It gets better. If she lands this move in heat, she's at +17 and can get a guaranteed follow-up that ends with her going into Heaven and Earth stance, where she can threaten with several strong attacks, including a fast and blockable, and gets a charge that stance.
When she's in heat and lands forward 2,
and can get a guaranteed follow-up.
Horse 2 is guaranteed,
where she can threaten with several
into Heaven and Earth for another mix-up,
including a fast and blockable, and gets a charge that powers up some of her moves.
Oh, and is the guard break in this game unblockable?
Strong attacks, including
it is a high,
and gets a charge that powers up some of her moves for the rest of the match. The little brother to forward 2, forward 1 is a running high punch approach option.
Running 1 is now forward 1. Oh my god. This was her running 1 in Tekken 7. It's now forward 1 instead.
But doesn't force her into a stance. The drawback, of course, is that it's a high and can be ducked. But since ducking against Lydia is so scary, see every
Wait, they're both 13 frames. Forward 2 and forward 1 is a full mix-up. Forward 2 and forward 1 is a full mix-up. In Tekken 7, yeah, it kind of was, but like running 1 was harder to do. Running moves were hard to do in Tekken 7, right? So it was doing instant running 1 wasn't that hard. So that was pretty difficult compared to the way it would be now. I hope they both are weak to one side, because if so, that is insane. Like, hopefully both options get beaten by sidewalk left or sidewalk right, or you know what I mean?
Everything I said before about forward 2, this is a very useful
that is
option
ridiculous.
to keep your turn. Her forward 1+2, 3,
political
1+2 string called Political Storm.
The -15
twist. There's a clean hit property to it if you do a quarter circle forward 1+2 for the last hit that adds on a bit of extra damage. Aside from that, it's Lydia's 14 frame Punisher, a heat engager, has fantastic range, and while the final hit of the combo is launch punishable, she can stop after the second hit and only be -10.
Does it jail?
Alex warned though that it is no longer hit confirmable between the third and fourth hit like it was in Tekken 7.
Okay, so you can't, between for the third and last hit, you can't hit confirm it. So you just, but again, they're just gonna do the first few hits, I guess. I mean, I'd prefer if it was that way and just like it's just used as a like long range whiff punisher rather than the checking tool fully hit confirmable. That it was insane in the last game.
Is a safe mid heat engager with 18 frame startup, is +2 on block, will wall stun if close to the wall, and knock down if it hits while you're already in heat. Not much else to say about it other than that seems pretty good.
That's new.
Down forward 2 is a 15 frame mid that goes into cat stance and is +11 on hit, which means that if it hits, once again, the opponent is in a bad spot where they'll have to guess.
So her down forward 2 in Tekken 7 was this long range mid punch. It's still I-15. Pretty much the same. Goes into the same stance. It's just, I think it's just range is nerfed like crazy in this game.
They'll have to guess, as pretty much all of her follow-ups will beat any.
Oh, their cat 4 goes into stance in this game.
She's got a safe mid that leads to a combo on counter hit, a low, and a high follow-up. That said, if the initial move is blocked, the opponent can mash out of it. Next up is down back 4, which is a fairly average low poke. It's a bit slow.
I think it was minus in Tekken,
but it does track sidestep.
I think it was 0 plus.
What's nice about it is that you're standing
in Tekken 7,
so you don't limit yourself to wall rising moves after landing it. Down 2 is another low that is faster at 18 frames, but it is
down 2 is a lot faster in this game.
Moves after landing it. Down
I don't know how slow it was in Tekken 7, but that is definitely faster in this game. -4 in hit though.
Faster at 18 frames, but it is -4.
That is a lot faster. It used to be down back 2 in Tekken.
So if your opponent knows that, they can take their turn back if it hits. It does go under highs though, and if it counter hits, you get a free from crouching down forward 2 heat engager.
Wow. Oh, she has a full crouch down forward 2 as a heat engage. She has a 12 frame while standing heat engage. Oh boy.
From crouching down forward 3 is another.
This doesn't knock down anymore. Oh, it does. Okay. It has to be clean hit. Has to be clean hit.
Has a guaranteed follow-up
3? Yeah.
The downside
no Oki though in Tekken 7. No Oki for it.
This one is launch punishable if blocked, so just be careful.
Yeah, it staggers, right?
Quarter circle forward 4 is a 17 frame tracking high that leaves Lydia at +1 on block.
That's new.
But if it hits, she's at
it's +10. We did see this in the trailer. I wondered if the 1-2-2 was a guaranteed follow-up.
Guaranteed 1-2-2 jab string, which does respect.
Does she not have 2-4 anymore?
At +8 in cat stance for a mix-up opportunity. Speaking of 1-2-2, it's worth noting that this build shows that it's -8 on block. That's not really true, since it forces Lydia into cat.
I was about to say, like, because in Tekken 7 it was unsafe. I was like, did they make it? Does she go into? So one thing I've noticed in this game, in Tekken 7, when Lydia did a move on hits that would put her in stance. So in Tekken 7, if she did a move like forward 4-2 for example, and you blocked it, you don't go into stance. On hit you would. In this game, it looks like all moves that go into stance on block or on hit, which might be to Lydia's detriment.
Regardless of whether it's blocked or hits.
Okay.
And Lydia can't block in that stance, which means that it's actually launch punishable.
So it's basically a Mishima flash punch.
So don't just go.
But you can't confirm. You could never really confirm 1-2-2.
Out, or you might.
Actually, I don't know.
Now let's talk about down back 3. This move is sick. It's a 16 frame, fully tracking low sweep, which means that it cannot be sidestepped either left or right. 16 frame, fully
that is homing it into horse stance, and look at how far it's knocking down. So it doesn't get the guarantee. Maybe the guarantee follow-up is only counter hit. In Tekken 7 it was a clean hit, just frame input. You do down back 3-2. Now in this game it looks like it's knocking down. So got clean hit there.
This move is sick.
But where's the range where it hits? That's far where that hits from.
Low sweep,
into horse stance follow-up. That's far.
And if it hits, it leaves you at +7 in horse stance. So it's a position very much like if you had just landed forward 4-2. She does trade against jab mash with some options, but even in those trades, you still have the advantage.
She's got the power crush.
It's launch punishable, so it's a big risk throwing it out, but it's
staggered in Tekken 7.
Tool in her arsenal. Pressing 1 while in horse stance will get you a high homing.
So this is what we saw in the trailer, and I was like, there's no way, right? And I think I spoke about this in my interview with FDX. She has a power crushing stance that she can continue pressure with into stance, like on block.
Into the striking wolf stance. It's +1 on block, so it allows her to continue her pressure, and on counter hit, it's +16.
+16 on counter hit? What about a normal hit?
And finally, striking wolf stance 1 is a chargeable mid that is +2 on block and charge, and +7 when fully charged. It's easily sidesteppable and interruptible, but if it hits or is blocked, Lydia is left in a very good position. Without a charge, she's
I bet it guard breaks in heat.
still at +16 and gets a guaranteed follow-up, and if the full charge hits, she gets a damaging full combo. That's by no means an exhaustive look at Lydia's moveset, but these are the moves you'll definitely want to know, both if you're starting out. Exhaustive look at Lydia's moveset, but these are the moves you'll definitely.
Why did she get all that health? Look at why is her life bar green after the throw? Why did she get all that health back?
Want to know both if you're starting out using her,
and again, same thing after the down back 3 counter hit.
Or if you want to get a basic understanding of what she wants to do when you're fighting against her.
Does she have
now,
like
let's take a look at her
unique health mechanic?
Lydia's got a Punisher.
Or is that like going to be across the board, right? Because we see the green life bars more in this game, so it might just be an update to some visual clarity
for everything
things
from 10 to 15 frames
in Tekken
and
8.
even beyond. Her 10 frame punish is her 1-2-2 string.
But does she not have 2-4 anymore?
And leaves her in cat stance at +8. It's an extremely good 10 frame punish. She's also got 1-4, which doesn't force you into stance if you'd rather not transition.
I never liked 1-4.
For 11 frames, she's got 2-2 and 2-4. Once again, 2-2 transitions into cat stance.
Oh, so her 2 jab is now 11 frames.
But if you'd rather not transition, you
can. And now, okay, for 2-4 is I11 now instead of I10.
2-4. Her 12 frame punish is 4-2-4.
Oh, 4-2-4 knocks down again. If you guys, when they nerfed Lydia in Tekken 7, they got it to her. 4-2-4 did not. Oh, there was so many nerfs. For me, 4-2-4 not knocking down. Oh my god. That made me so upset.
Frames, she's got back 2-3, which leaves her at +6 on hit. At 14 frames, she's got the aforementioned political storm string that does big damage, and
15 frames should be the hop kit.
For 15 frames, she's
3-2 is 15 now.
Storm string that does big damage and is a heat engager as well. For 15,
3-2 was 16 or 17 in Tekken 7, but now it's 15. Because before, Lydia didn't have from standing, she didn't have a clean 15 frame punish that gives you a combo without already using your tailspin. But now she has 3-2.
She's got a couple of different combo starting options.
Wow.
3-2 is her main starter that you'll likely see the most damage out of for 15 frames. There's a just frame property for perfectly timing the second hit that gets you extra damage.
The just frame wasn't hard to do as well.
Up forward 4 is her hop kick, which is less ideal as it will tornado the opponent afterwards, diminishing some of the damage. And down forward 4-2 is her far-reaching 15 frame punish, which can be followed up by a guaranteed forward 1-2. For her wall rising punishes, she's got wall rising 4-2
while setting 4-2 now goes into stance.
Cat stance. From crouch down forward 2 is her 12 frame.
Full crouch down forward 2
is a heat engager.
Minus, I think it was always minus 4-2.
Frames, she's got wall rising 1-4.
And wall rising 1 splat. Does she have wall rising 1-2?
And wall rising 1-2,
yeah,
which puts her into cat stance at +11. For 14 frames, she's got wall rising 3, which gets a free follow up with forward 1+2 once again. And for 15 frames, she's got the standard wall rising 2 launcher.
That's pretty much the same.
Now let's put this all together in some combos. Here are a handful using several different launchers that Alex showed me.
Like, a lot of these combos aren't going to be like anything special, really. Like, these are like the basic thingy combos that you'd see. Like, these are like the basic sample combos you would see. But like, she looks ridiculous. I can't lie. Forward 4-2. Oh, that's cool. Forward 4-2 and forward 1. I can't believe it's forward 1 now instead of running 1. That's kind of insane. Yeah, this is a lot of these are pretty much the same as the Tekken 7 combos, input wise. So there'll be more optimal stuff.
Before we wrap up, we need to talk about one last stance of Lydia's, the Heaven and Earth stance.
Yeah, can't I? Heaven and Earth stance
is a unique stance in that she can only enter it while in heat or after a heat engager, and she can enter it while in any other stance by pressing up.
So Heaven and Earth is heat only in this game. That's interesting.
As I touched upon briefly earlier, When she enters the stance, she gains a charge, which simply powers up the damage of some of her moves and persists through the entirety of the match. From Heaven and Earth, she has 3 main options.
So her stocks carry over?
Press 2 for a powerful 13 frame mid that's plus 6 on block, 1 for an 18 frame power crushing mid that's only minus 11, and 1 plus 2 for a 16 frame high unblockable.
That's insane.
And finally,
so 1 plus 2 is an unblockable in this game instead of a guard
last
break.
thing to know about this stance is that it's also a parry stance. If attacked during it, she will parry, restore some of her heat time, and re-enter the stance with enough time to follow up with one of the attacks she can use out of the stance.
What
Lydia is a
hell?
complex character with one of the largest movesets I've seen in Tekken 8. She has ways to mix you up and continue her suffocating pressure. I hope this guide proves useful for both players who want to learn how to play her, and for those looking for ways to deal with her by understanding her moveset just a little bit better. Thanks for watching, and for everything else,
I gotta say, she's looking absolutely insane. Like, I would definitely be playing her, but she looks like she's gonna be erring on the side of broken already. I say that a bit tongue in cheek, but like, she looks very strong. I think forward 2 and forward 1 plus 6 was it plus 6 and plus 5 respectively. I think running 1 forward 1 is ridiculous considering what forward 2 does. I just hope the tracking on both those moves are garbage, personally. I hope she has to be forced to use home moves to keep you in check. If both of them have good tracking or they track opposite sides, that's all you're going to see with the character. Forward 2 and forward 1. That's what you're going to see. I promise you, that's all you see with the character. Yeah, it looks like she has depth to her in this game. I'm just worried, personally. Like, judging from some of the things I saw there, I think she's looking really strong. I'll be excited to play her. She's going to be a good sub character. I'll be putting a lot of time into the character. I just hope she doesn't release the week of Evo and is tournament legal. I just hope that doesn't happen, especially with some of the things I'm looking here, like, you know, because even when Eddie came out, they had to balance him and make sure this is good and make some bug fixes and blah blah blah. She's not going to come up perfect. There's going to be issues. You know, she's going to be strong in some way she shouldn't be. So I just hope that's not what happens with this character. But excited for it nonetheless. And thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.